Early in the morning, bonus episode 67. Question for you. What's your go-to app when you have a moment of downtime? When you have a little time to yourself, maybe you're waiting for the bus or waiting for something, waiting in line, and you pull out your phone. Maybe you check your email or check your messages and there are no messages. Sometimes that happens. Then what's your go-to app? What is the app that you open by default? Now, this might seem like an obvious plug for our Discord server, but I'm not really meaning it to be. But my go-to default app these days is Discord. Because we have this fantastic Culips English podcast Discord server, and it's so fun to hang out with our community there. So honestly, that is my go-to app these days. But if I've read through all the messages and I'm caught up on the Discord, then the next app that I go to is an app that is really popular here in South Korea. And I think it's really only a Korean app. I don't think it's available in other markets, but it's called the Carrot Market. And I believe I've talked about Carrot Market in the past here on Culips. So maybe you've heard me mention it before. But Carrot Market is a buy and sell app. It's a used to buy and sell app. And in today's bonus episode, which is number 67, by the way, this is bonus episode number 67. I'm going to tell you a story about a recent experience I had using Carrot Market. But before I tell you that story, let me introduce myself. My name is Andrew, and I'm the host of the Culips English podcast, and it's wonderful to be here with you today. And I hope you're doing well. And I want to encourage you to listen to our latest simplified speech episode if you haven't already. In that episode, I talked with one of our study guide writers. Her name's Indiana. She's from the USA. She's a lovely person, a wonderful study guide writer, and an even better English teacher. Now, I won't tell you too much about Indiana because in the simplified speech episode, I interview her, and you can listen and find out about her yourself by checking that episode out. But I do want to say that in that episode, one of the things we talk about is a brand new course that we are going to be offering here at Culips. Yes, that's right. You heard me. It will be a course. And it will happen over the course of 6 weeks, okay? And each week there will be a live class which is led and taught by Indiana, and she's going to be walking the participants of the class through one of the study guides for our older simplified speech episodes. In fact, we have around 178 simplified speech episodes at the moment. The most recent episode was number 178. So that's a huge catalog of episodes. And if you're a newer Culips listener, then maybe you haven't even explored some of those early episodes before. So what Indiana is going to be doing is going all the way back to the start of this series, which I think we started like 7 or 8 years ago. it's been a long time since we started simplified speech. She's going to go all the way to the back and walk you through those episodes and walk you through the study guides for those episodes in the live class. This is our first time trying something like this at Culips. So we are calling this a beta course. It's going to be 6 weeks long, like I mentioned, and it's only for Culips members. So if you're a Culips member, you can actually join for free. Fantastic. You don't have to pay anything extra at all. If you're not a Culips member, but you'd like to participate, well, then you need to sign up and become a Culips member. And then you can register. We are opening the course only to 30 Culips members. And that's just because it's impossible to do a live class if we have like 200 or 300 people. It will just be too crazy for Indiana to teach a class that big, so it's limited to 30 participants. And at the time that I'm recording this episode right now, registration has only been open for less than 24 hours. But already we are almost 50% full for the course. So if you are interested in doing it, don't delay. You have to sign up quickly before things fill up. So anyways, if you want to hear all of the details about that, you can listen to the simplified speech interview that I did with Indiana. Or you can go through the course. You can go through the course syllabus and schedule and see if it's a good fit for your schedule. And I will put the links for those as well in the description for this episode, so you can check it out and learn all the details. All right, I think those are all the announcements that I wanted to make before I get to my storytelling. So without any further delays, let's get right to it. Here's my story about using Carol Market last week. Hope you enjoy it. Here we go. So the question that I asked you at the top of the show was, what's your go-to app when you have a moment of free time? What is like the app that you open just to kill some time when you have a moment to yourself? Well, in the past, I would have answered either Twitter or Instagram. Those were my two go-to apps. But there has been a lot of changes at Twitter, and I found that it just hasn't been a good fit for me recently. So I actually deleted the Twitter app not too long ago. So that left only Instagram. Instagram was definitely my go-to app for a while, but then, like you know, we launched the Culips Discord server, and because of that, I've been more focused on using our Discord server than Instagram. So half naturally and half because of my own will, I kind of stopped using Instagram as much. Of course, I still use it, but I don't use it as much. I actually removed the icon. The Instagram shortcut icon from my home screen and put it on a different screen. Of course, I still use it, but I don't use it as much. I actually removed the icon the Instagram shortcut icon from my home screen and put it on a different screen. So I can't just tap right away. When I opened my phone and go right into Instagram. There's a bit of effort. I need to do a little bit of swiping around on my phone to find it and open it. Instead, I replaced that with the Discord app. So that's been effective at helping me break my addiction to Instagram. Now I have to say I have nothing against Instagram. I think it can be a really cool app, and I learn a lot of new things from Instagram. I find a lot of new things on Instagram. But at the same time, it can be a real time waster. And also it can be expensive because I see so many ads through Instagram. And I guess Instagram knows me pretty well because a lot of ads that are targeted towards me really are things that I find pretty appealing. So it can be dangerous. I have to really watch myself and make sure that I don't go on a shopping spree thanks to Instagram. So anyways, I've been trying to reduce my time on Instagram, and I kind of put that app in a difficult to find, difficult to access place on my phone. So instead, I've been using Discord. But in addition to Discord, I've also kind of become addicted to this app called Carrot Market. So Carrot Market is an app for buying and selling used things that is essentially its main focus. But it also has a lot of other things on there as well. There's a community tab where you can see other posts about various different topics that people in your neighborhood have posted. And I should clarify that that's one of the unique things about this app is that you're limited to your specific neighborhood where you live. In fact, once you downloaded the app and you get it set up and you make an account, then you have to set your neighborhood and you can only interact with other people or other products if you want to buy something. If it's in your neighborhood, which has been a little bit frustrating to me, this part of the experience, but it's just the way the app goes. So you may be wondering, why have I become addicted, so to speak, to this buy and sell app? Well, it all happened when I was moving. Earlier in the year, my wife and I moved from our apartment to this old house that we have renovated and fixed up, and now it's our new house. So while we are doing that move, I started using the app a lot. First of all, I sold a lot of things before the move using this app, and I had a really good experience, and we were able to sell a lot of things that we didn't really need. And we even gave some stuff away as well through using this app. So I was a really good experience selling and giving away things through the app. And now that we're in the new house, while we need to furnish the house, and this has been taking a long time. If you're a loyal regular listener of Culips, regular listener. If you're a loyal regular listener of Culips, you will probably hear me talk about this almost every week, that we are still furnishing our house. A little update about that, by the way. I do now have a desk, and I'm sitting at my desk right now. It's a relief. I don't have to sit on the floor anymore. I have a desk for my computer, and it's fantastic. So that's taken care of. But we still need to furnish our living room. Our living room is empty. We don't have a sofa. We don't have a dining room table. There are things that we still need to get. Now, my wife is a designer by trade. That's what she does for her job. So she's got a really good eye for layouts and designs, and I'm helping her search for furniture that we can use to furnish our house with. But at the same time, she kind of naturally takes the lead in that situation, just because I think she's better than I'm at doing that kind of thing. I, of course, offer my support, I share my opinion, and I do things together, but she kind of takes the lead in that regard. But there is one area where I take the lead, and that's when it comes to music, the music for our house. So I'm a huge music geek. I love listening to music, and so is my wife. So let's take things back a couple of years ago. My wife and I got married, and we moved into our first apartment together, and at the time, the apartment was empty, and we were just starting our life together, so we also at the time had to buy a lot of furniture for the apartment and furnish it because it was an unfurnished apartment. And one of the things that we bought at the time was a stereo. We bought a kind of integrated LP player and radio, and it came with a couple of speakers as well. And at the time, we just bought a cheap one. I think it was around $150 or so. So as far as stereo equipment goes, that's pretty cheap. And also the quality of the stereo is pretty cheap as well. You can tell just by using it and picking it up that it's not the greatest quality. And at the time, we said that was fine, because when we moved into that apartment, we had already bought our house, and we knew that we would be renovating it. And we said to ourselves, hey, we will wait until we move into our new house, and then once we do that, then we will spend a little bit more money putting together the kind of stereo system that we want. Now, I know for some people that might not be a huge priority having a stereo in your house, but for me and my wife, as music lovers, it is a key component of the house. In fact, I think I could live without many things in the house. I don't really need a TV. I don't really need a dishwasher. I don't really need any a clothes dryer. To be honest, I could live without many other appliances. However, one thing that I need to have in my house is a stereo, so I can listen to music. At least in my life, if I don't have music, then my life is not as enjoyable. So this is a priority, at least for our household. So now we are finally caught up. We're in the present, okay? And we've moved to our new house, and we still have this cheap stereo that we're using. And it's fine. It's not the worst, but it could be so much better. And especially the quality of the speaker is very, very poor. So it just like very scratches the itchy for a good stereo. And now that we are in the new house, we want to upgrade. So this is where I can take the lead. And it's my job to get a new stereo for our house. Now you may be wondering why we just don't go online or go to a store and buy a brand new stereo. Well, that's not really our style because we are also really interested in older vintage products. And there are several reasons behind that. I think maybe for my wife, and I don't want to put words in her mouth here, but I think if you were to ask her directly, she'd say that she likes vintage products because of the aesthetics, because of the way they look. And I'm totally on the same page there. I love things from the past, and each era has a different look, a different style, a different aesthetic. And I'm totally, like I said, on the same page as my wife there.